Hi students, hopefully you can hear me clearly. This is Mrs. Girot, your digital arts teacher, and I just want to clarify how things look on my end. For this assignment where you're tracing the week 5 assignment, I actually have to go into Inkscape, open up your files from there, and then I look at your work. So this is what I mean by seeing your work. So this is just an example of a file that I've opened up, and this is the .svg file. So as you can see, when I first open it, I don't see any work. I have to click on layers, and this is how you guys all get to layers too, just in case you weren't sure. And I can actually find this little arrow down here and pull it down so that I can see all of the layers. So I'm just gonna go through and uncheck the layers, and then you can see that this layer right here is actually the image that the student used to trace the work. I'm just going to change the size a little bit here so I can see the whole thing. So I'm not really sure, but for some reason when you have an image that you've used to trace on, I'm seeing this linked image not found a lot, and I think might be because you are pasting it in there directly from the internet rather than saving it to your computer first, downloading it and saving it, and then opening it up in the program. So it doesn't matter that I can't see it. What I know is that when I see this linked image not found, I know that that's an image that had been pasted into a layer. So the work here is when I open, watch this. Okay, so this student didn't actually have any work on the lines layer. That's okay. We could just delete that. But you'll notice that Sebastian layer has these eyes.
Here you go, Mom.
Okay, and then CL layer has these eyes, and Undertaker layer has these eyes. Now, one other really cool thing is that it's not that I can just see the work, but I can actually grab it and I can move it around and I can size it. And just like I was coming in, so like if I worked for Adobe, for example, and someone had sent me these eyes and it was my job to, make sure that they were just right, I could go in and I could tweak these things and fix them so that they were to my specifications before I pass them on to be published. Okay, so that's what's cool about this program. I know some of you are concerned. You're like, I don't know how to save the layers. You don't have to save anything except for the document. You just click File, Save As, and then whatever your name is that you're giving it. So these little icons right here tell me that these are SVG files that can only be opened up because I don't have Illustrator in Inkscape. So that's all you have to do, and then you just submit that to me, and then I'll go File, Open, and I will open up your file. Very easy. So let's take another look. Here is another work of art by one of our awesome students. I'm just going to go ahead and look at the layers. And now Inkscape cannot cooperate with me sometimes when I'm making videos, so I might not be able to do everything that I want to. I was surprised that that last image I was able to do as much as I did because it freezes up on me a lot. But let's just go ahead and take the eyes and close them up so that we can see what we have here. So you can see that this student started with an original drawing. How cool is that? And then the student added on top of it the ink and the heart's color and the shine. So a very simple design, but the student did exactly what they were supposed to do, right? Did a drawing and in essence filled it in. So this one looks pretty good. Here's another fun one, and I'm telling you, these are just so much fun. Couldn't you just look at these all day? Yes. As you can see, this student has both the image that they used, and so they probably just took that image and transposed it. So you can use these up here to transpose your image, flip it, that type of thing. And so let's just start taking the eyes off. And look at, you can see, there goes the torso. There go the legs. There goes the head. And the student was actually kind of working on the same layer that the image was in. But that is just really cool. Isn't that awesome to see all the work? So that's what I mean by work. Now, if my Inkscape weren't freezing up, I would also be able to use my tool to grab these objects and move them around. But unfortunately, I just can't do it. My computer doesn't have enough RAM to make it happen. Here's another great one. You can see all of the layers that the student created. Oh, there's the background. So that's the image that the student would have been using. And to trace. So this is really cool. I was actually in this, when I'm not making a video at the same time, I was actually in here moving around these all of these pieces and fiddling around with them. So you're just gonna have to take my word for it. I was able to do it with that first image, which was awesome. I was surprised, but yeah, there's just, I can't, my pointer doesn't work in here because of my video, but trust me, I was in here and I was able to take all these pieces apart and move them around. That's how I know it was the student's work. Anyway, it is really cool to come in here and see all of your designs, and I appreciate all the hard work you're doing. I mean, remembering to do these layers and everything, it's not easy. It takes a lot of practice, but I assume all of you are here because you're wanting to learn. So this is the assignment where the rubber meets the road. Thank you very much for your time. Oh, there was one other thing I guess I wanted to show you. An example of like an assignment where if there isn't any work, what I mean is that I've got this image that's pasted, but you'll notice that there aren't any layers here and there's nothing else in the image. So this can happen if you forget to click save as. So it's so important that you remember to click save as, and then once you've clicked save as, I've told you constantly, just keep clicking save, like every minute. Every little change you make, go up and go save, or you can hit control S, that's the shortcut. But just save every little thing you do, because you know that this uses up a lot of your RAM, and if it crashes, you don't want to have to go back and redo everything you did. So next time you start a project, please go in, and the very first thing I want you to do is click File, Save As, and give it a name and save it, and then just continue to save everything you do. You need to submit that .svg file to me. That's how I know that the work was done. If you went to your file and you did like a screenshot of it, and you were like, sweet, I'm just gonna take this awesome screenshot. Oh, and I'm also just gonna make sure that my layers and everything are in there and I take that, that's not gonna help me, because I've got to be able to go into Inkscape and actually play around with it and manipulate it to know that it's real. So I wanted you guys to take screenshots in those, but I would much rather, at this point where it's so technical, I'd much rather have you just make sure that you're saving and submitting the SVG file to me, because I am going to be going in there and I am going to be playing around with your images. It takes a lot of time to do that on my end, but I also learn about your process and I get ideas from you guys. It's awesome. So I appreciate your time. I know this video was long-winded, but love you guys.